Hello, top sellers. Today, let's talk about the power of habit and how to structure your day to achieve success in anything. So, I learned this from one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. So, I will be sharing what I learned with you in this book and how I have applied these lessons in my life. So I first heard about this book in one of Pastor Peter Tanchi's preachings, and I immediately Googled it and listened to the entire book on YouTube. So I've always been a goal-oriented person. I like writing down my goals, setting goals, and then pushing myself to achieve them. So sometimes I would succeed, most of the time I wouldn't. But the thing is, we all want similar things. Although we're very different people, we want similar things in life. And for example, we want to be healthier, we want a happy family, we want a successful career, and the freedom to do whatever we want. But the question is, why are only a few people successful, while most are not? And it all boils down to habit. How do you structure your day? Because every day matters. Tell me what you do every day, and I can tell you what type of person you are and what matters most to you. What you do every day shapes your identity, who you are. The process of building habits is the process of becoming yourself. You can decide who you want to become and then intentionally build habits that support that. You also don't have to pressure yourself too much because nobody is perfect. There were times when, a week went by and I didn't feel like vlogging, so I didn't shoot that week, even though I had committed to doing it weekly, and that's okay. We all go through bad days, and you don't have to be at 100% all the time because no one can do that, to be honest. We don't have to follow through like all the time, as long as we do it most of the time. So majority of the time, I'm there, I show up. The principles taught in Atomic Habits are so simple and yet so mind-blowing at the same time. Habits appear to make no difference until you cross this critical threshold that unlocks a new level of performance. When you're first starting out, it will feel like nothing's happening despite all your effort. You may spend months or years working at something and still feel like the result are falling short of your expectations. And this is the main reason why most people give up too soon, because they feel like it's futile. But great things take time. There's no such thing as overnight success. All the successful people you see today are there because they put in a lot of work in the previous years. It's similar to a stone cutter hammering away at a piece of stone again and again without so much as a crack in it. But on the 101st blow, it suddenly splits in half. And you know that it wasn't that 101st blow that did it, but all that had gone before. In the same way, the good habits that you do on a daily basis for years and years will what make you an overnight success. And there are 3 levels at which change occurs. First level is changing your outcome, the goal, what you get. Second is changing your process, the system, your routine, what you do. The third is changing your identity, changing your beliefs, your worldview, what you believe. It's hard to change your habits if you don't change your beliefs. It really starts from the inside out. The catch is your identity is shaped by your habits. So for example, if you work out every day for a year, you have evidence that you are committed to fitness. If you spend 3 hours homeschooling your kid for 10 years, you have evidence that you're a hands-on homeschooling mom. If you close a sale every week for 5 years, you have evidence that you're a consistent performer. So the more evidence that you have for a belief, the more strongly you will believe it. I remember when I was starting out as a real estate broker, I was still working as an online writer. So most of the time, I was in front of my laptop writing an article that had nothing to do with real estate. And the truth is, it's so hard to start something new because you're very rooted in your old habits and ways. But someone taught me, just do one thing every day to find a buyer, one thing to find a seller, and then that's it. Once you've done that, you're done for the day. And then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the day. If you do this consistently, there will come a time when you will live and breathe real estate. It was something that was very doable, and so I did it. And it's just as simple as, telling your aunt that, hey, I'm a real estate broker now. I'm doing real estate on the side. So if you have friends looking to invest in Cagayan de Oro, please refer me. And he was right. I started doing that every day. One thing to find a buyer, one thing to find a seller. And now it's been 10 years and I am living and breathing real estate. I don't even have to think about it anymore because it comes naturally to me, as naturally as breathing. So it's a two-step process. First, decide the type of person that you want to be. And second, create habits that support that. So how do you structure your day to become a powerhouse seller? I sell between 10 to 20 million or more worth of property on a monthly basis. So last year in 2021, in the midst of the pandemic, I grossed 140 million in sales. So that's an average of 11.6 million per month. Now, I don't sell between 10 to 20 million or more per month because I'm so good at it. It's really because of the habits that I have intentionally developed over time. The systems that I put in place that allow me to perform at this level consistently. So let me share with you my daily habits for success. So I wake up at 5:40 in the morning and do my quiet time. So this is when I read the Bible, I reflect, I pray. The Lord is a huge part of my life and I really depend on Him for guidance and wisdom. And it's also the time when I pray for guidance on the deals that I'm working on, especially if there are some challenges for that particular deal. Pray for my clients that they will like the listings that I offer to them. And then around 6:30 a.m., I go to the gym, which is luckily only a 5-minute drive from our house. So we live in Xavier Estates and they have a gym in the clubhouse. So my husband and I work out about 30 to 40 minutes every day, around 3 to 4 times a week. So after working out, we then head back home to have breakfast, or for us, coffee, since we eat lunch and not breakfast. So we have coffee with the family. So around 8 to 9 a.m., I start homeschooling Rain. I have a daughter who's 3 years old now. And the reason why I homeschool her is because I really want to be a huge influence in developing her values. When she's young, I want to be able to really mold her to be a woman of the Lord. So after an hour, homeschooling just takes around 30 minutes to an hour. After that, that's when I start to work. So I start working at around 9:30 a.m., start following up on my closables. I call the clients that I met last week. I follow up with them on the properties that we checked out. So follow-up is very important. It's one of the most important part in closing deals. And when I was starting with my real estate career, I would rarely do this. It's crazy, right? But looking back, that's what I did. I wouldn't follow up. I would go on a side tour, and after the side tour, I would fail to follow up. I would just go on a lot of other side tours with different clients. It was when I decided to do daily follow-ups that my closing rate went from 10% to 80%. So it was huge improvement. I mean, that's an understatement. So these are the 4 things that I do every day before starting my day. First is quiet time. That's my time with the Lord, and also time to reflect and to meditate. And then I work out. So I do it at least 4 times a week because I find that when I work out, I have a higher energy and I'm more on the go compared to if I didn't work out, I would really feel tired and lethargic. And then I homeschool Rain, although if there are times that I can't because I have an early meeting, then I ask my husband to homeschool her instead. So we take turns. And then fourth, I do follow-ups. And then once I've done these things, I can then start doing other things. So now let's take a look at my week. I segregate my responsibilities on a daily basis. So that's my daily habits. And then I also have a weekly schedule. So for instance, Mondays and Saturdays are for client tours, follow-ups, and meetings. Tuesdays are for listing appointments. So I usually go on house tours with my videographer, Kirby, every Tuesday. Wednesdays are vlogging day. Like for instance, today's a Wednesday. That's why I'm vlogging today. And then on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., I have a Zoom Bible study with my D group. On Thursdays, we have team meetings, consulting meetings, and on Friday, that's our self-development day. So that's when we meet our mentors. We ask them for their wisdom and advice. And then Sundays is family day, so we go to church at CCF, and then that's also when we get to drop off Rain at kids' church. So we get to listen to the preaching from the pastor. Rain also gets to listen to the kids' church preaching. Usually my workday is done by 6 p.m. because that's already Rain time. So I give her a bath, I put her to bed, mommy duty. Anyway, so that's it. Creating good habits, a system to follow, will give you more time to do the things that you love. Instead of spending time deciding on matters like, when should I work out? Should I work out today? Should I vlog today? Should I meet a client today? Your habits will make all these things automatic. It's only when you have the fundamentals laid down that your mind is ready to focus on the next level, the next set of challenges. Building habits in the present allows you to do more of what you want in the future. So today, take time to write down in the comment section or in your journal who you want to become, and then write down small habits that you can do daily that will move you closer to your goal. I'm rooting for you. As always, I'll see you in the next video.